Welcome to another episode of Amazing Individuals, where we talk to individuals with intellectual disabilities and people that support them. On today's episode, we will be talking to Brandon Schatsiek. Did I say it right, Brandon? I'm sorry if I didn't.
That's okay. Schatsiek. So
Okay.
it's like you get a shot to make sure you don't get sick.
Oh, there you go. He is the manager of athlete leadership for Special Olympics North America. Hi, Brandon. Thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Could you please tell our listeners where you're from?
Yeah, originally from Washington, Illinois, which is about halfway between St. Louis and Chicago. Most people have kind of heard of Peoria, Illinois, so that's 10 minutes from Washington. So that's originally where I'm from. But then I went to school in Missouri and worked there for a couple of years, and then now I live in Colorado. So.
Oh, that's nice. So, go ahead.
How did you get involved with Special Olympics?
Yeah, so my involvement with Special Olympics didn't start when I was in high school, or it didn't start when I was in college or anything like that. I went to school in Missouri at the University of Missouri for journalism, and about seriously 2 weeks, 3 weeks before graduation, realized I didn't want to go into traditional journalism anymore. I always had a passion for nonprofits and wanted to make sure I didn't completely waste my $150,000 degree completely, and tried to put my journalism degree to use by telling people stories in the nonprofit world. And after working for a newspaper back in Illinois for a couple of years and kind of doing odd jobs here and there, an opportunity opened up at Special Olympics Missouri as a public relations coordinator. And I didn't really know that much about Special Olympics. My partner's cousin participates in Special Olympics Illinois, but I really didn't know that much about it. And so took the job with Special Olympics Missouri. I was there for 8 years, all total, and doing graphics to videos to writing stories to newsletters to website, and eventually was offered the opportunity to take on athlete leadership, and had no clue what that was about, but traveled to Special Olympics Indiana to see how they did it, what I consider the mecca of athlete leadership, and learned from the best in Special Olympics Indiana what it was all about, and became quickly my favorite part of my job. And that's why I'm still, working for Special Olympics North America and Special Olympics International in specifically athlete leadership.
Okay. So, that follows right into the next subject. What do you like most about, working, for Special Olympics and working with athlete leaders?
I think the best part of Special Olympics is obviously everybody's always going to say working with athletes. In Missouri, I was a unified partner for a number of different sports. I'm trying to do the same here in Colorado and become a coach. And just the opportunity to work with people like you and to teach with people like you and learn from people like you. I don't have that experience. And I think that my job is to really help athlete leaders or help athletes or people with intellectual disabilities become leaders. And, I say to a lot of people that for a lot of people with intellectual disabilities, they were never really given the opportunity to take courses or to take trainings and things they were actually interested in. So in school, you were always told, nope, you're going to take these courses. Nope, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. And athlete leadership to me is about opening up, I know it sounds corny, but opening up a world of possibilities for people with intellectual disabilities and allowing you the time and the space to become whatever kind of leader you want to become, whether it's to give speeches or take photos or put videos together or run events or even become a CEO of an organization someday. So that's what I like most about working with Special Olympics, is seeing people with intellectual disabilities or Special Olympics athletes try something for the first time and go, oh, this is really cool. Maybe I can do this. I never really thought I could turn this into a job, or I never thought I could turn this into something that I enjoy doing and get paid for it. So that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, and I enjoy the opportunity, like you said, to work with you and, to be able to give back, as an athlete leader. I know you do too.
Yep.
And then, what do you always want to strive to be like a coach or something, right?
Yeah, somewhere down the line, I want to do that, but just have to wait a little bit. But it's one of the things that what I want to do is I want to get back. So after doing it, so I've been doing it since 1979. So I'm not doing some of the sports I used to do because I'm a lot older now, but I still do. I still do some of the sports that I like doing. So,
And that's why athlete leadership is so important, right? Is because it gives athletes who no longer really feel the need or the passion to compete or can't, they can't physically do it anymore. Athlete leadership is a great way for you to give back. You said it, Kurt. It's a way for you to give back to an organization that has done so much for you. That it's about us, people without intellectual disabilities, finding ways to train you, and then just kind of getting out of your way. So,
okay. What are some successes that you have seen in Special Olympics make, and what are some challenges?
I think, I've been involved with Special Olympics for 9 years, 8 years in Missouri, and now in one just last week at Special Olympics North America. So I haven't been around for as long as a lot of people have, but I think that even in the past 9-10 years, we've come so far with athlete leadership. When I first started with athlete leadership, a lot of programs weren't doing anything with it, or all they were doing were, and this was us too in Missouri, we was just focusing on global messenger public speaking courses.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it. And that's fine for those athletes who want to give speeches, but as everybody on this call knows, that's not the only way that athletes can become leaders, right? There's so many different ways for athletes to have meaningful leadership roles. Mm-hmm. So I think for the past 50 years, we've been focusing on doing things for athletes, right? And I think the next 50 years need to focus on transitioning to working with athletes and eventually being led by athletes. And that's, key distinction between all those words is that we used to be a service provider for people, and now we're trying to change that. And we want you to help us lead the organization. And, another success is that athlete leadership for the first time, just as far as I can tell in the last 9 years, is now part of a global strategic plan. Like most programs are doing something with athlete leadership where before they really weren't. And the funding may not always be there. Our mission is sports first and foremost, and I get that. But more and more programs are seeing the opportunities that athlete leadership can present and how it can make programs stronger. So, I think that there's going to be, like we just talked about, there's going to become a time where athletes can no longer compete at the highest level. And then what? Are we just supposed to stop servicing them, right? Are we supposed to stop providing a service to them? That's where athlete leadership comes in.
Yeah.
So I'd say one challenge is that, we're still fighting that uphill battle to prove that, people with intellectual disabilities can belong. And that people with intellectual disabilities can become leaders. We're fighting that stereotype outside the organization, and we're sometimes fighting that stereotype inside the organization. You just need training like anybody else. Like I would need training to do a role that I'm not, suited for right now. You need the same training. And it's just our job to support you as much as possible. And again, just kind of then get out of your way and let you lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good way to say it too, is, because like with the athlete, input council, it's good to have it's good to have you guys' input, but it's also, it doesn't mean anything unless you hear what we want, or how we think we can change the organization. So, or our programs. So going forward, what is one or two things that you would like to see Special Olympics accomplish, especially in the area of athlete leadership?
This is where my marketing, my journalism, my storytelling background in my brain kind of takes over. I think we just need to do a better job of telling the success stories of our athlete leaders. And I think that that's going to prove to people that you can be leaders, not just within the organization, but within your communities as well. It's just about having the opportunity, right? Having the opportunity to be trained, and then the opportunity to actually lead in a meaningful way. And I think that finding those stories, because they're out there, right? We know they're out there, and then sharing them both within Special Olympics and with our external audiences. So people, our volunteers or our partners, will start to change that mentality of, Special Olympics is just cute, right? It's not just cute. It can be, right? But that's not what we're going for. We're going for real. We're going for something that actually matters. And so I think that's one thing, is telling those stories. And I think we just need to get more programs on board, and that we need to show them that athlete leadership can be something that it doesn't have to be an extra program that you have to find somebody to lead within your staff. It should be value added to your organization. Lisa, as you were saying, as it relates to like athlete input councils or athlete leadership councils, having athletes lead those, having athletes be staff members in the sports department, having athletes, taking pictures and photos or videos at competitions. Those are all ways that adds to the value of your organization, because the program better than anybody. We should be listening to you and helping you find the best way to share those opinions. So yes, there's going to be work on the front end, right? There's going to be staff investment of time and salaries, but I think in the long run, it's gonna make your program that much stronger and that much better. So that's what we're looking for.
Oh, I definitely agree. I think that, when they see our faces out there, and we can say our own messages, because I know that when we go to different events and they find out that we're married, it's like, we're like one of only 5, married couples here in Illinois, and everybody kind of like looks at us like, oh, you guys can do that. So, I think by doing that stereotype,
really
yeah, kind of doing
No.
that stereotype. So.
But that's part of the problem, right? That's part of the problem within society and in what laws we have as a country, that two people with intellectual disabilities can't get married without losing their benefits.
Right. That's why they have to do
work.
Yeah, that's why what we had. So we had to do what we did was we got married, but we didn't legally get married. We just had because like you said, they want us to be normal people, but except for certain things like that. So, so it's
disappointing.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So, go.
But again, I just really quickly, that's where athlete leadership is so important, because then we can train you on how to become advocates, right? And then you can go and it's not Special Olympics' job to go out and to bang that drum for people with IDD to have the right to marry, right? That's not our mission, but we can still train you to become advocates, so that then you can then go and have those conversations with lawmakers or community leaders to change those things. So that's again where Special Olympics is more than just sports, and athlete leadership is so important. It's not just like, hey, look at Lisa out there taking photos, isn't that cute? No, it's a matter of like, we're training you to become leaders in whatever way you want to, and hopefully change, again, I know it sounds corny, but change the world in your own little way.
No, I definitely agree. So, wow.
Why is Special Olympics important to you?
I think we kind of talked a little bit about it already. It's just that the Special Olympics is important to me because I've made so many friends through Special Olympics, people that I never would have met. I've gotten to travel and be part of Special Olympics USA teams, and just getting the opportunity to work with people who want to learn and want to try new things and see see the possibilities instead of looking at something and worrying about, well, I don't think I can do that. Well, no, I probably shouldn't do that. Or somebody else is holding them back, whether it's a coach or a family member. I just like seeing people have big goals, really, really big goals, and think through the best way to kind of achieve them. That's something that is just really exciting for me. And playing a very small role in that is important. And just giving you the platform, not giving you the platform, but just kind of stepping out of the way and letting you guys have the opportunities that you're looking for.
That's good. So you mentioned USA Games, so that was leading to our next question. Disney will host the next USA Games next year. What is one or two things that you'd like to see or look forward to seeing, and also maybe looking forward to seeing coming out of that?
Well, hopefully, we can figure out this COVID situation. So, that's my biggest concern right now, is especially in the wonderful state of Florida, that's not doing very well on a couple of different levels. I think that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, is hopefully by then, most people are vaxxed, boosted, they're safe, and that we can actually have the games, because it's been far too long for our athletes to get on the field of competition. But as far as anything else goes, I don't really know what we're going to be doing as far as athlete leadership or unified leadership is concerned at the games yet. I know that we'll probably be doing some trainings, but more than anything, it's just, I have yet to meet my coworkers in person. I have yet to see some athletes in person that I've worked with for a year now. And I'm just really looking forward to the chance to see people in person. I'm really looking forward to seeing my Team Missouri athletes that I miss dearly after moving to Colorado last year. So I look forward to seeing them and watching them excel on the sports field. And just, again, like you guys, meeting new people. And obviously, if we get a day or a half a day at Disney or Universal, that would be great too.
Yeah, I'd like to meet up with you.
Yeah, we love Disney anyway. We go there every year. So yeah, and actually we're volunteering there, or either volunteering and trying to get our podcast going there too. So hopefully that's what we're looking forward to, right? So go on.
This one there?
Yeah.
What is one thing you would like to tell people about yourself that they may not know about you?
I don't feel like I'm that mysterious in a sense that, like, people don't know who I am. The people who know me and work with me know that for the most part, I'm really focused on my work. Maybe sometimes to a detriment. I'm pretty serious. I don't really take time to celebrate the wins. But I do think that one thing that might surprise people is that, like, I'm really, really, really into board games, and specifically like the really difficult or like really long board games. So if there's a board game like a Twilight Imperium that takes 12 hours to play, like, sign me up. I love that kind of thing. I love just hanging out, having a couple of adult beverages, and enjoying a really long, heavy strategic game like that, and reading rule books and teaching other people how to play board games. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's something that I really, really enjoy doing, and don't get enough of a chance to do so now that we've moved away from all of our friends.
Oh, I understand that. So other than board games, is there anything else outside of Special Olympics that you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason why my partner and I moved to Colorado is to enjoy the beautiful outdoors. We love hiking and camping and kayaking and disc golfing and cycling and everything that you can do outdoors. We, for the most part, that's what we really enjoy. We picked up rock climbing this year. We've been going to a rock climbing gym for the past 6 to 7 months. Look forward to actually getting out sometime in 2022 to try that out in the open. But yeah, just anything outdoorsy, we really enjoy. And yeah, just loving loving being outdoors, no matter what it is. That's really what we enjoy.
Yeah, I'm more of an indoors person. You're a little bit of an outdoors person.
Both, a combination of both.
Yeah, especially when it comes to golf and stuff. But go on.
Before we end today, Lisa and I would like to remind everyone to make sure that
To get their COVID
sure and get your COVID vaccines if you have not already done so. You are not just doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the world.
And again, we just want to thank Brandon for joining us today. We really do appreciate you being on our show. So, and hopefully we, like you said, when we go to Disney, we'll be able to have a chance to meet you in person. So next year. So,
No
so
problem. Thanks for having me.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
we hope everyone will stay healthy and safe. And remember that people with intellectual disabilities can accomplish whatever they want with the right supports.